Hello, and welcome to the Keep It Local Maine podcast, where we interview local business owners and Maine residents to learn more about what they do, who and what inspires them, and how they use their experiences to steer them into the future. My name is Todd Regalinski.
And I am Kimberly Regalinski.
And we are the publishers of Keep It Local Maine, a local magazine that helps to showcase local businesses to the people in and around their communities. Thank you for tuning in to our weekly podcast that you can subscribe to on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can learn more about us at keeplocalmaine.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube and Instagram through the links in the show notes. In this episode, we'll be talking with Erik Jeffers from EJeffers Gutter Protection, Cleaning, and Repair.
Erik Jeffers has been in construction of one kind or another for most of his life, and in the past year has started his own business cleaning and repairing gutters, along with installing gutter protection. He's been married to his wife, Dee Dee, for over 20 years, who is also a nurse, and they have two sons, one of which he's hoping will take over his business someday. Erik is hoping to get involved with a boxing gym once they open up again, and something he likes to do with his wife is go out to eat, pick a table, and then pay for that table's meal. He likes to pay it forward. Welcome to the show, Erik.
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing great. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Well, thank you for inviting me on. I really
awesome.
appreciate it. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes.
Now, I have to ask before we get into the legit, not legit, I mean the regular questions that we get into, but the paying for another table's meal thing is kind of a cool thing for me. How did you start doing that?
You know, I don't know. I've always been kind of a giving, caring person, and helping out others has been, one of my things for always. And, my wife and I, since I started this business, and even before, we've been pretty fortunate. We try to pay it forward as much as we can. And
That's
one
awesome.
day we were sitting at a restaurant, and I just said, "You know what, hon? Pick a table." And I said, "We'll pay their tab." So she did, and we've kind of made it, not an every time we go out to eat habit, because that can get pretty expensive. And one time it did. I got a pretty funny story that happened to us. But so that's kind of where I am with that. We go out, randomly pick a couple or a family, and just say,
That's
all right,
awesome.
we'll pay their tab and let it happen.
It's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And the kicker is we don't want the people to know it's us. You know what I mean?
Which
We
is
don't want any
awesome.
praise. We don't want anybody to wave to us and say, "Oh, thank you." None of that. We just, bring us their bill, tell them it's
Yeah.
paid for. Don't tell them who, we'll take care of it,
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
So,
the way to do it.
yeah.
That's the way to
Great.
do it.
I was going to ask. I have to know what the funny story was.
So yeah, you're familiar with I think it's the Blue Moon Cafe in Saco?
Yeah.
Okay, we were there having breakfast just recently. And, of course, they're famous for their mimosas. They have some really top-of-the-line mimosas. I don't touch the stuff. I don't touch alcohol. But my wife, once in a while, likes to have wine or a mimosa with breakfast. So she had a mimosa, and I looked outside. We were sitting inside, and I looked outside. I said, "You know what? Pick up any table out there." And she saw a nice couple. And she said, "All right, let's take care of their tabs." Well, they must have drank 10 mimosas. Their bill alone was over $100 for breakfast. I looked at my wife and I said, "Oh my goodness." She goes, the waitress was flabbergasted. She goes, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And my wife looked at me and she just kind of smiled and said, "You know what? We're committed now, aren't we?" And I said, "Take it."
That's awesome.
So, you got to be careful, I guess. But regardless, I'm sure that couple went, "Oh my goodness, so I don't have to pay $100 this morning for breakfast? Great,
That's
whatever."
awesome.
But yeah, for me, it feels good.
That's
And
awesome.
that's why I do it. I don't know, I guess, so much do it for helping other people out. I guess maybe it's a selfish reason. It makes me feel good inside when I do stuff like that.
That's awesome.
I'll be at the corner store and, I'll look at the cashier and say, "Take care of the guy behind me."
Yeah.
And he'll tell him, step up, pay for your stuff, and I'll just kind of step aside and wait and pay the whole bill when it's over, But that's kind of
awesome.
who I am and what I like to do.
That's awesome.
So,
That's great.
Yeah, it's
We
one
could
of
have
those-
more of that in the world, right?
It just gives you a good feeling overall. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
I don't know how to describe it, but it makes you feel good.
It really blesses you to pay it forward like that.
I
That's
think
awesome.
it does, and I've found that the rewards have come to me tenfold, not only in the future, but it will in the future, but they have in the past and they're coming to me now,
That's awesome.
like being here today. This is a great avenue for getting my name out there. And I so appreciate that, because in business, we all know that is the number one thing is I want to be the household name in gutter. And this is a great way to get there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much again for being here. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
And normally breakfast is such a safe meal, because breakfast is usually like the lowest cost meal.
I figured. I'm like, I'll spend like $30, $40 on theirs, and another 30, maybe 50, 60, $80 on breakfast. Big deal. No, it cost me 140 some odd dollars. I couldn't believe it.
Little did you know you're dealing with a table that was getting mimosas like they were playing blackjack.
Yeah, like these guys are like 10 o'clock drunk, exactly. So whatever. It was what it was. I think we left before they did, so I think it was whatever was on their tab at that point. The woman, the waitress said, "Go ahead."
But at that point, then they said, "Well, now if we didn't have to pay for all that, we'll stay for a few lunch."
Yeah, we'll stay for a few more drinks. I agree.
So you've been in construction for most of your life, and you just started this business in the past year. You were saying?
Yeah, right around this time last year, November, late October, early November.
How'd you decide to get into this business?
Well, I've worked for my uncle for many, many years, LaFortune Carpentry. He's over in Saco. Great guy, master finish carpenter. I would highly recommend him to anybody who needs work done. Okay, a little dig for my uncle there. Go Dick. His name is Dick LaFortune. But, he retired, and that kind of set me out to, what am I going to do? What am I going to do now? So I kind of dabbled in the handyman and started doing, odds and ends stuff for people. And, it was okay. It was fun. But it got to be too many little things to deal with, to handle and to think about. So I took a contract with a company who's pretty, a nationally renowned leaf filter. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. I took a contract with them to be an installer, subcontractor, or whatever you want to call it, to be an installer for them. And, I loved it. I hired one guy to work with me as another subcontractor. And we took to the road for Leaf Filter for about a year and a half, installing their product. And we started to realize the pay's not that great. We're running. There's got to be a better way, So I did some research. I found a great distributor out in Indiana, Hallett Gutter Supply Company out in Indiana. And I hooked up with them, and I started buying my own cover, advertising. And, I got to say, in this very first year, we have invoiced over $50,000.
Nice.
That's great.
And, in every bit of research I've ever done about small business, first year business, things like that, it's just that's unseen, unheard of for the most part. So I feel that we're doing great, and we've got a great future in the gutter world, in the gutter business.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I like how you saw you were doing something that you really enjoyed, and you saw that there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way, and that's kind of that true entrepreneurial spirit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Part of it was I was because with Leaf Filter, and I don't knock anybody. I think they have a pretty decent product. We just weren't a good fit.
Yeah, and so you did what you saw it, and you did your research, and then you set out on your own. That's awesome.
I was seeing the price they were charging these customers for their product, and I knew that we could find something less expensive and still make a good chunk of money on it.
Still make a living
without really charging these people a lot of money. So it really has been a great adventure so far, and I'm looking forward to so many more years.
Great. That's great.
Yeah.
So why, Erik, should people get their gutters inspected, cleaned, or replaced now in the fall? I mean, tell us why why it's so important to do that.
Well, first and foremost, your gutters are, I would say, your frontline protection when it comes to water damage on your home. If your gutters aren't installed properly, or they're full or clogged, they overflow, the water gets to the ground right beside the foundation of the house. And in the wintertime, it freezes and it causes cracks in your foundation. Or if your foundation isn't, quite watertight, you start to see seepage in the lines and the set, along the walls and things like that. And that eventually is going to destroy the foundation of your house. So keeping your gutters clean, first and foremost, is huge. Not only that, going into the winter seasons, if you have clogged gutters or poorly installed gutters, you're in danger of really hurting people with ice falling from them. Not only that, but if they're overflowing, you're in danger of putting ice on the ground in your walkways and every place that you would put gutter to keep gutter water away. You're going to end up having ice buildup.
Gotcha.
And, not only is it a safety hazard, but again, ice on your foundation expands, contracts, and that's only cement. So it's going to crack.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, and
good
especially cement being as porous as it can be.
You got it. It seeps eventually. And like we're buying the house where we've lived in here for 5 years. We're closing on it this month. Thank you, Lord. We've been so fortunate. Again, with the being very fortunate. Our landlord has been great. He decided to owner finance us. I mean, we couldn't ask for things to be going better right now. But we've noticed, we need gutter on the back of the house. We never put it because we didn't own the house. Yeah. But now that we're going to own it, there's a lot of things we're going to do. And sealing up our basement is one of them because it does leak when it rains, and it's because there's no gutter on the back of the house.
Right. So it's so important to have that.
You got it. Yep.
Congratulations on the home, by the way. Before I forget.
Thank you very much. Something we've worked hard for a long time, and we've had our struggles, and this was a great opportunity, and sitting down with my attorney and going over all the numbers and everything, he looked at us and he said, "You'd be foolish not to do this."
It's awesome.
So we're doing it. Yep, we're closing this month. And hopefully by the end of November, he said, by the end of November, everything should be finalized and we can sign papers and it'll be ours before Christmas. So that's our Christmas present to our kids. My boys now will have something that they can inherit from us.
Yeah, nice.
Awesome. Not only, the house and the business, that'd be great. So we got a lot of construction plans for the next few years. So hopefully business allows us to follow through with those plans.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best thing about houses is also kind of the worst thing. It's there's always something to do.
Oh yeah, it's a never ending story.
Yes. People get your gutters fixed.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Kimberly.
Yeah, and so kind of in line with that, I mean, what are some tips that people can use to kind of prep their home for winter in terms of gutters and things like that? What are some of the things people can do to get a leg up on that protection that they're going to need?
Well, first and foremost, get your gutters cleaned. Get the leaves, get the cloggable stuff out of there. One of the worst things we see in the wintertime is gutters falling off of houses.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? I'm going to tell you, there's like a chain reaction, if you will, and I'm going to explain to you real quick how it works, okay? In the winter, everything gets cold, okay? Wood does the same thing. So when you have nails or screws in wood, and that wood gets cold, it kind of allows the screws to loosen up a little bit. Everything gets a little more brittle. Add that to the extra weight of leaves and cloggable debris inside your gutters with ice and snow buildup, tear them right off the houses. So cleaning your gutters, first and foremost, is front line. It's the one thing that you want to get done, I would say, between now and the beginning of December, before the snow falls. The leaves are already falling. Another week, maybe 2, we should have them pretty much down here. So I'm looking for my phone to start ringing and people to start calling and saying, "Hey, come over and clean my gutters."
Yes.
But that's the first thing. Making sure your house is properly insulated and ready for the winter. If you have air leaks, seal them up with some, what do they call those, plastic window covers, things like that, just to keep yourself warm and dry. Make sure you have a roof rake so you can rake those valleys out when the snow builds up. And one of the good things about having protection on your gutters is when you do a roof rake, that snow that you're pulling over the gutter isn't going to fall into it and build up and pack. It's going to ride right over the cover.
Oh, nice.
So you're kind of, saving yourself having to get up there and scoop your gutters out after you rake your roof down. You know what I mean?
Oh, so that's good. Yeah.
And, I think gutter protection is A lot of people think it's a 50-50 thing. Are they really needed? Do they really make a difference? Well, I'll tell you, no gutter protection is 100% effective. I'll tell you that now, speaking from a gutter standpoint. Things settle on them, snow and ice build up on them. So,
but it's an investment in your house, right?
Well, that's the thing. It is, because you're going to either pay $300, the average house, $300 twice a year to come out and clean your gutters. Or you can pay, for the average house, it's about $2,000 to get protection on there that has a 20-year guarantee from the factory, and my own personal guarantee that for 2 straight years, you're not going to have a problem with it. And if you do, we're going to come fix it for you.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And the reason, Kimberly and Todd, we put only a 2-year guarantee, I wish I could put more, but we do live in Maine, where we experience all the seasons sometimes in a week, which can really wreak. Or 2 days or a day for that.
I've seen 4 or 5 in a day and a half.
But so they really wreak havoc on gutter. Trees are falling, branches are falling. So we can guarantee it for 2 years. For any reason whatsoever, if it is not functioning properly or it falls off of your house for any reason whatsoever, we're going to come take care of it.
That's great.
That's awesome. Great. And I will second the roof rake purchase. Mm-hmm. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for the roof rake that I bought. Maybe, I want to say 8-9 years ago now. And
what an investment, though, huh?
Oh, it's probably one of the best investments I've made. I mean, it's saving the roof and everything else, and as long as you don't wait until there's like 2 feet of snow and then you're like, I'm going to go out there and rake that now.
You got it. Yep.
It's not that bad. Takes a couple minutes. So
So Erik, what are being a new business owner and an entrepreneur? We all face challenges, right? We all face challenges, and especially in this kind of COVID season where we are. What are some of the challenges that you faced as a business owner in this time, or as a business owner in general?
Well, I got to be honest with you. The very first and biggest challenge I faced was getting started.
Mm. Yeah.
It was not only a financial stress, it was emotional, it was stressful, all kinds of obstacles and learning involved in just starting and setting up an LLC and trying to make sure you're doing everything legally and by the book and properly, just to satisfy the needs of the state. Those are just the worst obstacles. Is if you do something wrong, you're going to get in trouble for it. OSHA is out there, and you've got other people that call and complain. There's so many things. So,
but getting started was
probably
awesome.
The number one obstacle. Some of the other little things is, keeping your employees and scheduling, because my guys are subcontractors, so they're not bound to me for work. So they, being a subcontractor, you try to take work from multiple sources. And I think that's a law in the state. As a subcontractor, you have to take jobs from multiple sources or you're considered an employee. So trying to coordinate and schedule my work with their work has been a challenge at times.
But you're doing it.
We are,
awesome.
Kimberly, we've had 3 now. We're going on 3 straight solid weeks of working 5 days for these guys. And
awesome.
To me, that's huge. That's a new level for us. In the last 30 days, we've invoiced over $11,000. So I'm so excited about how well this is going and the direction we're heading. I really am.
Okay.
So
hang on, I'm getting the signs from Kimberly. I think she wants me to steal second. Either that or I'm bunting. Which one do you want me to do? You want me to go to that one? Okay. Yes. All right. My producer has just told me that we're.
Did I say something wrong, Miss Producer?
No,
Madam Producer.
It's
You're
me.
not a miss anymore. Yeah.
I'm like we're color coding everything, so I got to make sure.
And I just messed up the color coding.
Oh, way to go, Todd.
Yeah.
I know.
Men and colors, we don't mix.
I always used to joke that if it wasn't in the Crayola 8-pack, that I was in real trouble.
Exactly. I'm the same way.
But being a graphic designer, I don't have that out anymore.
Yeah,
So
right.
now
Like,
I have to know them. So now this is totally my fault.
yeah, if somebody says to me fuchsia, I say a shade of blue, green. I don't know. So
Yeah.
that's my my knowledge and expertise in colors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not everybody's thing.
No, white, cream, black, beige, gray. Those are my color patterns. That's
Well,
all the
and
colors my gutters come in. So I can, if you mention those, I can say, yeah, I can get that.
there you go. That's all you need to know.
Yes.
Exactly.
So I guess the next question is, who or what inspires you?
Wow. I guess on what level are you talking, Todd? I mean, in life or in business?
Either or, really, because I think there can be some. There definitely are different buckets, but I think there's a lot of carryover in between
there
them.
is. I think my very biggest inspiration is my dad. He was never an entrepreneur or an independent businessman or anything like that. He worked in a factory for 40 years. And he worked there every day for 40 years. I don't think a man missed a day of work until he retired. And he was a Marine coming out of high school. And to me, he has been just an exemplary example of what a man should be and how a man should act and carry himself, and the things that he's done. He raised a family. He committed himself to his family until all of his kids were grown up and out of the house. He worked his fingers to the bone to give us everything we wanted and needed. But at the same time, he did it with dignity. He did it with integrity and pride and honor, all the things that I think a good man should be.
That's awesome.
So for me in life, my dad has been my biggest inspiration. As far as business, I got to tell you, it's been, I don't know if you want to call it success, has been my inspiration, because, I never really experienced success until recently. And I don't even know now if we're truly a success. And can we call ourselves that at this point as a business? But success in money inspires me, making money and helping other people, giving them something that they need. Gutters not only, keep the water out, but they protect your investment. Your home.
Awesome.
Some cases you're looking at $300,000-$400,000 worth of investment.
Yeah.
If you don't have gutters and it rots that foundation, that investment could go down the drain fast. So, helping people out has always inspired me, and to help me to, keep moving forward.
That's awesome.
And God has just been one of the hugest inspirations. The guidance and the grace and the opportunities that I've gotten just in life. I praise God for all that.
That's awesome, Eric.
That's awesome.
And you've built something, so you should be. Congratulations! You should be proud of that. You started, and now you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Right. We haven't
good
built
for you.
it. We're building it.
You're building it. Yeah.
I think with any business, it's a constant building process. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. I mean, one of the things you don't hear often enough is, "Hey, good job, congratulations, way to go."
Yeah. Good for you.
And when I make it a point that when I'm on my job sites with my guys, at the end of the job every day, I thank them, tell them they did a fantastic job.
That's awesome.
I make them feel like they did something and they did it well, because they did. I mean, don't get me, they did. I don't do it just to make them feel that way. I show them true appreciation.
That's awesome. You need that.
And you do, and I think that keeps them coming back. For one, you don't want people dissatisfied with you, not even employees.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to bring it back to Maine, and we always like to kind of wrap up with this question. We love Maine. We love everything about Maine. But what do you like about Maine? What are some of your favorite things about living here in Maine?
Well, you sent me that question, okay? And I thought about it. I really sat and thought about it, because I've lived in Maine for 46 years. I was born here, and as much as I don't want to stay here in my older years, I want to be south where it's warm, I'll probably die here, okay? So I thought about this question, Kimberly, and I said to myself, what is it about Maine? You want to know what it is about Maine? Maine itself has a little of everything this country as a whole has to offer. It has the seaboard. You've got the ocean, the beaches. You've got the cities. You've got the country. You've got the hills and the farms. You've got the industry, the small business. You've even got a desert. So this state as a whole, I think, encompasses everything that this country is made of, and its people encompass the true American spirit, the entrepreneurship, and the growth and the desire to enjoy life.
That's awesome. I think that's one of the best descriptions.
That's better than what I got. I got chills right now. Honestly, I'm like, dang.
I guess that's what happens when I think, huh? I shouldn't think very often.
That's awesome, Eric.
The Maine Tourism Board is going to be in touch
they're going to
with
be
you
hiring
soon.
Hey, where's that gutter guy? We need to talk to him.
But if you really think about it, I mean, sit back and look at all the attractions in the state. And
we have so much to offer.
We have the mountain tops with the snow caps.
Yeah.
We have the valleys, and we have the deep rivers, and we have the field. We have the farmland, and that we have it all. A little agriculture, a little we do. So for me, I think that's what it is about Maine. It's just the country packed in this little state.
Well, hey, Eric, thank you so much for taking time out to talk with us and kind of talk with us about everything. And we really appreciate it. And be sure to give him a call when you need gutter protection, cleaning, all of that. All of his information will be in the show notes.
We also install new gutter, Todd.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So if you need new gutter on your home, if you don't have any, give us a call. We're happy to come out. We offer a free estimate. We're there, promptly when we say we're going to be, and generally we get the work done in 1 to 2 days.
You guys rock.
That's awesome. Well, again, thank you very much, Eric, and you have yourself a fantastic day.
Yes,
thank you very much,
so
Todd.
much, Eric.
Kimberly, I really appreciate being here and the opportunity to, kind of let everybody know who I am and what we as a business stand for.
That's awesome. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.